The culmination of the greatest show ever created. The greatest thing in the Alien brand. Okay. No. No, I can't. I can't even get through that. So I just watched episode 8, The Real Monsters of Alien Earth. And what do I think of the culmination of this show? It's kind of been rocky. I mean, the first 2 episodes were just straight down. And then it started slowly, like flatlining, maybe going up. Episode 5 was my favorite. Many flaws in that. Poor, just the theme of the show, poor writing. And by the theme of the show, I mean the negative things that have been happening in each episode in terms of it not being good. Bad character choices, writing, all that stuff. I was aware of all that in episode 5, but I still liked it because luckily we had the other aliens on board, which was the highlight for me, really, of this whole season, unfortunately, because you would think it would be the xenomorph, Alien Earth, the xenomorph should be it's not the highlight. If anything, the worst part of Alien Earth is the whole reason the show exists is the worst part of Alien Earth. And of course, what goes along with that, the writing, unfortunately the direction of the characters, I guess, as a whole. I wouldn't point out any director in particular. The highlight of the show obviously is the sets. The sound design is pretty good, the score, and the music is debatable. I wasn't a fan of those songs being included in the show. Luckily they're at like the very end for the most part, but the actual score, which it's reused from other Alien movies, thought that was good. And then of course cinematography. Other than that, everything was a letdown. I mean, I don't like saying that. I know this show has been extremely divisive for some reason. It seems like people absolutely hate it, or there's these like fierce defenders that come out of the woodwork. I don't understand. Like, they're probably gonna dislike this video, to be honest. Not to be honest, of course they are. Just very vocal supporters, or in that supporter camp, there's 2 types of, there's the people that defend it fiercely, that are like, oh my God, what do you want? We're never gonna please you, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the people that are just like nonchalant, like, just enjoy the show, man. Like, you gotta, I don't get it. Just enjoy it. Like, this is the weirdest part. I'm tripping over my words here about this whole thing, is the supporters that I'm seeing for it or against it. Because it's been so just odd. Like, I think supporters of the Alien franchise as a whole are very vocal. Like, people that, usually it's people that don't like it. Even Alien Romulus, like, there's people that were vocal that didn't like it, but I feel like that was more lukewarm, more, flatline. It didn't seem to this extent. So the most surprising thing about this whole show is honestly the reaction to it. And I love the franchise. I have a problem even saying that, because when I say that, I specifically mean the first 2 movies. I like all of them. I'll watch all of them. I get enjoyment out of watching all of them. But to me, the franchise is the first 2. And I say that because when you have these offshoots, there's other examples out there where maybe even the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, like, it's the first one. And the third one, I think that's the true sequel, because the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was like this weird thing with, there's that whole, like, it's a gay undertone, and maybe it is, but those other movies, I wouldn't say those are actually part of the timeline. They're just fun offshoots of, using Freddy and stuff. I feel like that's how the Alien franchise is, because there's 1 and 2, and then there's all these offshoot movies like Alien 3, 4, AVP, even Prometheus, although to me that's its own separate category, and I love that movie. I say that over and over again because I do. But of course that movie has tons of flaws too. And I've said this before many times, I have a whole 40-minute video where I go over that movie. But with this show, I want to like it. I really do. I don't like not liking it. I don't like talking crap on it. I don't like talking crap on other filmmakers and creators, because it's a hard process. And that's one thing also about this show is what exactly went wrong here? Because it's not like people just, you know, half-assed it. I don't know, maybe there are some people like that, but I feel like the main people behind the show, I think they genuinely liked the franchise, the show, they wanted it to be good. So what went wrong? I mean, it's easy to say, well, it was the writing, the poor character choices, and honestly, a lot of the actors. But then that all falls onto the director because they're responsible for approving everything. Of course, they don't have complete control over absolutely everything. If they don't like the script going in, they can, you know, have notes and make changes, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a finalized script that they may not like sign off on everything 100%, but it's just to a point where they're like, well, I gave my notes and I guess we got to shoot it. There's so many facets to filmmaking that it's hard to pinpoint exactly where it went wrong or who's to blame for it, because really it's a, you know, making a movie is like, there's the person responsible ultimately for it, which is the director, but it's not all them, you know, it's a community effort of tons of hands in the basket, and the director has to be the one who is supposed to shape that and approve or not approve things. But again, even they don't have full control over it because there's a bunch of various factors. And why am I saying all this? Because I don't know, usually it's like it feels more clear cut, but this show just doesn't, because you'll, even when you see interviews with people, which Sigourney Weaver came across, you know, my view a couple days ago, where she was talking about the show and was like, oh yeah, Noah Hawley, I love it, and from what I've seen, I love it. I don't know, I don't know what you saw, Sigourney, maybe a rough cut that they completely changed, but things like that. I never watched Fargo that Noah Hawley did. Maybe it was great, but then he makes this and it's not. So it's like, well, what happened there? I guess maybe he wasn't the right fit for the show or something like that, but I think this egg was just spoiled to begin with, and they just ran with it. Or they generally believed that they thought this was incredible and groundbreaking, and it's not. There's something very wrong with it. And what is it? Just like what I'm talking about here, is it the writing? I think it is the writing. And unfortunately, I don't like picking on actors either, but I didn't like a lot of the actors in the show. Literally the only two I liked were Kirsch's character, Timothy Olyphant, and Morrow's character, who I can't recall his name. Obviously it'll be in the description and stuff, but those are the only two actors I liked. And I don't like any of the hybrid kid characters, basically anyone else. And the worst two characters were the captain in episode 5, or the acting captain, I'm forgetting her name. Luckily she was basically just in that episode in the very beginning. And the brother character, I never liked him. I don't know why. Part of that's how his character is written, and maybe it's just I don't like his face. I don't know. That's not good to say, not a great reason. I don't know what it is. I just don't like his character at all. Which brings me to back to episode 8. He almost got what I wanted coming to him, which is the eyeball character to take him over. Literally, when that was happening, I was like, yeah, they're doing something right. Let's get the brother character. Let's get the eyeball in there. I want to see that. And of course, it starts happening, and no, the sister comes to save the day and smacks it across the room, and well, shit. The best thing about the show was denied by also one of my least favorite characters in the show, the main character, Wendy. I know why they probably cast her. She's not a bad actress. She looks kind of interesting and odd, especially, which I'm sure was on purpose, the last shot of this season. You know, the close-up on her, they used like a wide lens. Got what they were going for with that. It really highlighted her kind of odd features. I don't think it was the it wasn't, I can't say it was the actress, because she gave a pretty good performance for what she had to do. I guess it was just her character. I didn't like her character, which is how she was written, so what is she gonna do? She's just playing her role. I'm ranting a lot with this, and that's because, first of all, I'm passionate about what I'm talking about, but also this whole thing that I'm doing right now, these off the couch reviews, the whole point of them is I watch the show and basically right after, of course it's not always right after, but as soon as I can, I'm talking about it. And I try to do that in one take. And the reason I do that is because I've made videos like this before. You know, I've watched plenty of other people do it. I follow other people and I watch their stuff. It's just different if you know, as soon as you can, you just film something in one shot. It's just different. Your opinions, your thoughts. That's why I'm kind of, you know, tripping over myself and stuff sometimes. The reaction you get right out of watching something is going to be different, and I think more genuine than when you can watch something, stew on it, write a script, film it, edit it. Those videos are great, and in a lot of ways they're better in terms of being more clear and decisive on what you're trying to say, maybe even more entertaining, but it is not the same thing as just filming your reaction right after watching something. Just imagine this, which I think I will do this at some point. You're on the couch watching something with friends or, you know, whatever. And as soon as you're done watching it, they turn a camera to you. So what'd you think? Your reaction to that is going to be much different than if you are able to sit there and think about it, you know, write a script and try to be witty and whatever. I'm going on a rant on this because this is kind of what led me to doing this, was this show, and I'm going to continue doing it. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like I need to express what this is, why it is, and what I'm going to do going forward. Now that being said, that more produced style video, as my phone goes off, I'm still going to do depending on the thing, and I definitely will be doing it for this show because it deserves it. A more produced overall point, which is the good thing about doing that. An overall thesis of what I think of the show, I will be doing that. This is just my rambling reaction after watching it. They could not land the ship like they did in the first episode. It all fell apart, and I did not like it, unfortunately. I had high hopes. I wanted to like it. I gave it, every time I watched an episode, I gave it a chance. I wanted it to turn around, I really did. But unfortunately, yeah, as a whole right now, it just wasn't good, which is unfortunate. And even saying that, I absolutely hate Alien Covenant, but I still kind of like it because it's part of the franchise. Just like this show. I still kind of like it because it's part of the franchise, while at the same time thinking it's a huge disappointment and I don't like it. Make that make sense. The Xenomorph, Alien Earth, the whole point of the show, huge letdown. Okay, the other creatures were far more interesting. I really wish the eyeball character would have got the brother. That would have been a 2-for-1. More eyeball, less brother. No, absolute fail. The boy genius character, I know he's supposed to be, he's the real monster, like the episode says, the real monsters. It's the humans that have all the power and the money and the evil capitalist boy. No, I know what you're trying to do there, but I think you failed on your point. And first of all, his character, they cast that guy because he looks odd too and interesting. Great. His character was also diluted by being so dumb and making choices when he's supposed to be smart. If you want that to be effective, first of all, make him evil, doing bad things, but still likable. So he's charismatic, that guy, no. And smart, because that way you can attach to that guy, relate to him, like, he's charming, he's smart, I see where he's going, but yeah, he's not right. That's not a just thing to do. He shouldn't do that. That's not what this character did. He wasn't interesting. He wasn't funny. He was sort of annoying. And he made dumb choices. And apparently his facility, this multi-gajillion dollar thing on an island, has like 20 employees, and the alien killed like 15 of them pretty quick in the last episode and this episode. It's so dumb. I don't understand. He has all this money, but no money for staff, apparently. Or even more android characters. And I guarantee one of the themes, whatever, is that his closest people and his business are all synthetic. Kirsch, obviously, and it's revealed that the bald guy is also a synthetic. and it's supposed to be like, yeah, he doesn't have any human connections. I get that theme. So what? This show failed on every front in my regard, except for the other alien creatures. Whoever did that, you should have just all went to that and just branched that off into another show, and because the Xenomorph, it just didn't work. Didn't work. I mean, that's the main thing I can say about that. This show, this episode just blew up. It just was not good. I can't say it's the dumbest episode. It just was not satisfying. Probably by far the most unsatisfying because it didn't improve. It didn't get any better. And I guess the coolest part was Kirsch fighting Morrow. And that was it. But even that it could have been way cooler. But that's really one of the only highlights. And it just ends with him or the hybrids, what are we gonna do now? We rule. Yeah, it wasn't cool. Didn't land, wasn't cool. Nobody cares, unfortunately. I wish I could care. Do humans deserve to live? That's the main overall theme, right? Well, I don't think that was even effectively scratched, because even the hybrid characters, based how they're portrayed here, don't deserve to live. And they made Wendy a god who can control everything on the island, synthetics, aliens, by going dumb, hate it. Initial thoughts, thanks for watching. I think there's 10% more details that I'll go over in that more produced video, but I think my rant's officially over. God bless you if you watched the whole thing. Bye. Try as I might, there's still one thing I forgot. If there is a season 2, I don't even know if I want a season 2. Honestly, I would be curious to see if they somehow could make it better. The way that this show left off, I don't see anything they could do that would make a season 2 good. Because apparently all the hybrids are gods now, they can control aliens. What more is there to do? She has possession of the aliens too. She can control them. There's gonna be no outbreak of Earth, there's no threat of that. I guess there's Weyland-Yutani, a looming thing there. She's gonna battle Weyland-Yutani in season 2. That's really the only solution. And I don't even know if I care, but if they somehow can make season 2 good, that might be the greatest cinematic achievement ever. And I will give it that chance. But I will talk shit all the way up until then. Okay, that's it.